Hi everyone, I'm Agree,
I'm
and
Harrison.
this is Bottom Line Design. And today we have with us Darya. Darya is the co-founder and CEO of ShaderApp. So Darya, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, yeah, tell us all about Shader and you.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Darya. I'm a founder and CEO of Shader. So happy to join you today and talk about design and about startup career. So we are building product about AI creation for videos. Most of all, we focus how to generate your effects, filters, lenses, just with your prompts and ideas, or even if you can pronounce it and make it real in the font. Yeah, and I used to be before product designer and product design lead at Snapchat and uh, build product Lens Studio. It's about creation of AR filters lenses for Snapchat.
So
Awesome.
okay, so this isn't your first rodeo with AR. You've been working with AR since Snapchat.
Uh, Even early, I started my career in this industry from 2017, I think, like that. It was a time when I built product together with my friends. It was technology to try on sneakers with phone camera. We explore how we can understand size of the shoes and basically build 3D models and try it in real-time camera. And in 2017, it was a bit like just sounds even crazy that you need it and why people at all will explore that. But I think like we was really just crazy on the idea that what if it's possible to build AR not just for face when everyone use filters for makeup or just like simple effects? We started to explore hands and feet and also because we built this product not in United States. I'm originally from Belarus, and my team was also based in Belarus. And in that moment, we tried to think more how we can make it something big in a small country. What could be really interesting for the world? And when we push this product, we start work with a couple of cool brands like Gucci, Adidas, and Saint Laurent, Dior. And it's interesting that it was most of all luxury brands because AR was expensive and not everyone
Oh.
can afford it. And it motivates me to think in that moment already how we can build AR more accessible for everyone, that every brand or every creator can start create first design in AR, even if
Yeah.
you're not like if Saint Laurent or Gucci. And
So okay,
Snapchat was one of our clients. That's why like later I joined Snap.
so I have always been so fascinated with this. I mean, Daria, I know that we talked about this like when we met. How you said you're from Belarus, and I told you that I went to Belarus. I lived there for just about a month
Yeah.
in 2019, and what I saw like from the tech scene there kind of blew me away. There were some really serious like startups getting built out there, and it surprised me because it's like up until then I'd never really like thought too much about Minsk, in terms of tech, and so I would love for you to just kind of share a little bit of how is it that you guys building in Minsk were able to land these like marquee brands, these world class brands that I think people building in New York or San Francisco or LA would
They'd be
kill
jealous,
for.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think like it's because we have from the start in Belarus, it was for sure. I can start like that. It's completely right now probably different than it was before. But
Sure.
a moment when you visit the country and when I also was in Belarus, like 2016, 17, 18, it was a boom of startups. And it's happened because we have such a good, like, I think, education around math and university and computer vision, machine learning engineers. And this moment already start like explore a lot of work with United States and Europe. But also it happened because one of our first startup, name of this company Masquerade, they basically built technology around AR masks. And name of this company was like app also Masquerade, and it was acquired by Facebook. And this
Oh
is was
Oh
yeah.
wow.
yeah, and it was like basically sign for small country. Oh wow, it's possible. Like two engineers and a couple of other folks built
I
this
remember
story.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Daria, is this the one where like the product started basically out of a hackathon?
yes, it started in a
Yeah.
Sick.
hackathon,
Yeah. Okay, cool.
and yeah, and after that we have like a lot of hackathons in the country. Like people try to repeat, I feel like, and be inspired by this story a lot. And my team are also like one of the founders of Wannabe startup, name of my previous startup. Before also built company around filter masks, but for with acquisition with Google. And it's also was like inspiration. Like okay, it's not just because it was acquired, but because big community of engineers and big companies really see the value of this
Yeah.
type of products, and now we
So
start build Wannabe in this
yeah,
age.
yeah. Actually, I'd love to hear like let's double click on Wannabe for a second because I know you were the UI and UX team lead for Wannabe, right?
Yeah, and I was basically one of the first product person in the team. I think like we don't have any like roles because you did everything. You did marketing, you trying to create design, you like find people who can help you with analytics in the product. And I joined team really early, and was for me awesome lesson in my life how to build from scratch and how to make something like popular, interesting for the world when like we're just in like first steps, and when your product not really good also, and you're just trying to achieve something.
I want to like rewind just a bit. I have so many questions about all the things that you just said. Like one of which is L'Oreal, Sephora, some of these makeup brands, they're still trying to nail down this AR experience, which if there's any industry that can benefit from it, it's the makeup industry, right?
Yeah,
Why is it, do you think, that they're so far behind?
I think like with makeup, it's just because it's still the most like popular type of filters, and people love to create with face more than with everything else. That's why like if you're trying to build startups in this industry, it's a bit overwhelmed with companies who already exploit that. And in my story, that's why we decided to make differentiation and not work with face, but try to explore what if it's like hands and feet, something different. And it was really early to work with full body in that moment. Right now, as you take a look on the market, it's a lot of amazing startups who build try-on technology AR for full body, like clothes, t-shirts, dresses, everything, right? But in 2018, we even can't dream about it. And a couple years ago, I also just found my previous pitch deck, and I think like we even thought that it could be possible in 2025. And it inspired me to think like that actually everything possible really early than you think. Like we
Is it
thought that
because
it's
of,
in,
is it because of the software, the talent, or the hardware?
That
uh,
L'Oreal and all them are
yeah.
struggling to catch up with AR.
I think they like I'm not sure about the like struggling. They have like good products, right? Mirrors with makeup. Um, Maybe they more struggling how to distribute that, and if users will like use it like
Yeah.
all the time, because it should be probably part of everyday behavior. Like
Hmm.
we don't need it. I don't know. We don't need special L'Oreal app probably, but if it's inside of the products, it's more makes sense.
No,
Same
that
like
makes
we have with Wannabe when we launch our own products. We have a lot of cool like users like or I don't know exactly, don't remember now like numbers of, but it was like really crazy boom after like TechCrunch news and Product Hunt. But what you can do with these users if you're not marketplace, like if you just show virtual sneakers, and that's
right.
why we start implementation inside of other products. And maybe with makeup same, like it makes more sense if it's try on in Sephora product or in their own marketplace.
So just
Hmm.
kind of bounce basically around your CV. Like what led you to the tech design world in the first place? Like, and what were contributing factors?
So my story, I think, like more different from a lot of product designers because I basically start design later. I was before product manager and more work close with engineers and write papers and like describe features. And now when I start to be a founder last year, I start to understand, oh, probably I just have a dream all the time, be a founder. But I was PM and I joined design because I just can't find designer who really sometimes understand what exactly I mean. And I start to learn like really early, like just Figma. Before even Figma, it was like Adobe, and just start prototype all my ideas. And after that, I start to be like designer. And I never be like really honest, like good on UI part. I do my best, but collaborate with UI designers. But more was I found myself more like product designer because I have like vision and implementation of feature and understanding how to track analytics. But I often a lot of times collaborate with UI designers who can help me make it more visually pretty and close to audience.
Love that. Like, it's not every day that you have founders that have a forcing function of like, I can't find the designer that I need, so I'm just gonna do it
I'm gonna
myself.
be the designer I
Yeah.
need.
Yeah.
Do you find that now you work better with designers, or like what is design press fast forward on in your product development phase?
It's a great question. Yeah, I think like this is awesome for that you can design and prototype yourself first your ideas and visions. Like for example, when I just bootstrap with Shader, uh, because like I don't have like money to hire a designer, it was amazing that everything what I can do, like I do myself and give it for engineers to create it. But for sure, when we have first founding, now I can benefit just my team to invite someone to collaborate and work together who will focus on that, and I can focus on like more team tasks and more like organization tasks on that. But still, all product vision and like this like design principles go from the sewer, and it's kind of like, yeah, I'm excited that I can like basically make prototypes easily or explain even my
Oh yeah.
designer everything on Figma, and if I want to fix something, I don't need to write like fix for me that. I
So
will
so
update
you
it.
you use your design skills as a way of communicating your product vision to the team without having to play a game of telephone through the designer who would otherwise have to build a prototype.
Yeah, for sure, like
That's so
this is
cool.
like
That Yeah, wait, so can you tell us a little bit about like when you said that you bootstrapped to get to before your guys' first funding, how far along, like where was the product in its development journey before you guys brought in your first investors?
It was already demo product, so no, it was first around 300 waitlist users, and
How did you get those
they
300 waitlist users?
uh, this is everything was organic, but I mean like still with promotion just of your Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. But I think like to be honest, a win point was design because I built our like ShaderApp.com website with a really unique aesthetic, and I work together with also Illustrator, like my friend from Belarus, and we try to find like just a style which will resonate for really young audience, Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Colors, we was really like if you open like ShaderApp.com, you will see that we are not like technical. We like more screaming that we are like for people who love video content and creation.
Mm.
And this aesthetic, like colors, like pink, yellow, violet a bit, and really like just how looks our videos, everything on this website, I think will catch attention of people who join our first product. And
Hmm.
product was so like demo. We're still right now in the stage of MVP because we built computer vision, and this is like a lot of R&D work, but
Right.
it's already enough to test and find feedback by
So,
community.
okay, and so like talk to us about that testing and feedback loop, because if you at one point you had 300 users on your wait list, mostly it sounds like you got that through your existing network, your existing audience. How are you now incorporating the feedback that you get from that community? I remember you sent me the Discord invite to your guys' Discord, right? Do you
Yeah.
incorporate that like how do you incorporate them into the design process?
Discord, it's basically our best place right now where we communicate with the audience. It's our like platform when we can ask any questions, ask their like opinion about something. But for sure, like not everyone's so active. Some people just take a look what's going on. And I'm trying to find users who already joined Discord to connect with them and book with them interviews just to chat. And this is for me best options to learn. We usually you sometimes don't need like more interviews than seven, but seven interviews like every couple of weeks, like open your eyes, like what's going on with the product. And if users are busy, sometimes they like agree to just write for me, or even if they, I don't know, shy to have a call, but they for sure will be happy to write me answer in just Discord. Plus, in my personal opinion, everyone with whom you have this connection, like founder and user, after that start to be more close to your product. They
Yes,
usually
yes.
support you more, and even if someone has a bugs and writes something bad, these people with whom I chat like support my like steps because they know
Totally.
personally founder basically.
Totally. Yeah, we're also big believers. Being a design company,
Yeah.
we naturally love feedback and like sourcing it. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What what makes good feedback?
Yeah, and those 7 conversations every 2 weeks. What does a good
Mm.
feedback look like?
When it's not just personal that I like don't like this color or I don't like this filter, but more why. Like this is I for sure love when person explain me why, or when they can propose couple of ideas, vision what it could be better. This is I learn a lot, press because my product so. It's like I don't know, so unique in a way that we don't have something like that in the world. We have like image generation content, but no one tried to build like filters AI generation content, and we don't know how users will use it. We try to build new type of behavior and new type of self expression. That's why I basically ask everyone like create the idea like how you want to use shader in the future, like imagine,
Hmm.
and all the time their answers makes me feel oh wow, this is so interesting, like just like you never like find it yeah
Right. Yeah.
like
What's the most surprising idea that a customer has given you in their feedback?
one of my favorite use case it's just so you can generate with any prompt and our product filter mask. And I'm trying to find a way where we can implement this product if it's not just standalone app. And I asked like one our user, she's basically a teenager, around maybe 12, 15 years old. And she mentioned to me like, oh, I can imagine that I have a call with my grandmother, and in one moment I say like, shader, make me like allergic reactions that I'm green and I'm like so scary looking. And in this moment, my grandmother like see me and starting to be so scary. What's going on? And I'm laughing, and I feel like, okay, it's like prank, like really like prank jokes. But this is what like users want. And when I start talk about that with also just basically a couple of days ago with Discord team, because we collaborate a lot in a way how we can grow our Discord channel. And they mentioned to me, yes, this is our audience. They also all the time want to like fun around the camera, and it makes me feel okay. So we need more thinking about like basically creation process of ideas, but also how it could be in a camera connect people together. So I will never probably learn that if it's not just conversation, that shader should be part of video calls or like maybe live
Right.
streams.
So Darya, like you're in this really privileged position where you're both coming from a PM background and a designer background. And those are usually the two roles in a company that are conducting research. How now that you're a founder, like, and you have those two skills under your belt, like how do you set up the environment for good feedback? Like what are some of those
Mhm.
questions? How do you make them feel like, because we certainly feel resistance sometimes from other founders or our clients that we're talking to, and they don't want to maybe be mean or critical, but all three of us on this call, that's exactly what founders want. So how do you set up that environment where they feel safe?
Um, it's a great point. I think like I for sure, I don't know, guys like you with your design background, I miss when our user interviews was in person, because I remember like in 2018 we just did it in office, invite folks, give them phones and explore. And now it's most of all still like online. And in online, you just try to learn more about user. Like for sure, share about the team, but I'm trying to more like just to listen person why he agreed to join this call, what inspired him around my industry, like AR, AI creation, and this personal story. Uh, I think makes me feel better that I know a bit this person and can ask more about the product. And also, it's all the time short. I think it's still helpful. Don't make it really long, like 15 minutes. Be really polite to like time. Like, I mean, like understand that people do it for you for free.
So how do you
Sometimes.
make the most? 15 minutes is like a is not a huge amount of time. How do you make the most of that 15 minutes to get the most valuable feedback that you can?
I ask just two, three questions, like, and I split
Hmm.
questions between a lot of people. Just do not like go do like the long interviews with one
Hmm.
user. I don't know. I need
Okay.
your advice. Is
So
it good
so
idea?
what?
No.
Yeah. Well, what are like some of these examples of like two, three questions that if you only had 15 minutes with a customer could teach you a lot as a founder about your own product?
Yeah. Uh, it's if it's possible, I'm trying to open the app, like basically share the screen, and without any my guides, ask like okay, like you see right now, like this AI creation process, what is it clear for you in this user flow? Can you try to generate your first AI mask? And when they do
Mm.
that, after that we usually talk about result, what and also about time, and most of all they like surprise how it's fast, how it's quick, that it's a
Right.
couple seconds, and we start discuss like what do you think about style, what you want to create next, and yeah, my questions also usually about what could help them to have more ideas what to create. And it's already like I know a lot of answers now, because it's also important, I think, like if you collect feedback, a lot of times it's the same. So it means that you don't need keep going with interviews. You probably need more spend time on product and then
Hmm.
back again to this
Wait,
loop.
that's
These are just such good pieces of
yeah,
tactical
I know,
feedback.
yeah.
Like, yeah, thoughts on just like how to do these user interviews.
So Agree and I, we are huge proponents of doing good research, and we have like a grab bag of like two or three questions that we also fall back on. One of which is like, if you had a magic wand, what would you change about that? What was frustrating about that experience? Was there anything in there that you were
Mm,
expecting that you didn't find? And that's only after what you were saying, which is giving them a prompt and not saying anything. I think that's so important. A lot of times, like us founders, we see someone struggling with our product or our service, and we want to just hop in and be like, no, you got to do it this way, you got to do it this
No,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. And like, why is it that we can't do that?
Yeah, I'm trying to be so like just listen and watch what's going on because I don't want to ruin this user test experience. And if they will ask me, like, I feel frustrated, I don't know, what should I write? Like, sometimes people,
Yeah.
it's the most popular question, and it makes me great answer for me that I need advice, people, because they don't know. They ask me, I don't know what to write. And in my product, we right now trying to experiment. Well, we basically wrote to them like write something fun or describe what kind of character you wanna. But because it's also maybe not so visible, they still ask me like I don't know what to write, and it's help you to create new ideas because I know right now that we start already like have a feed templates, more examples before users start really understand what you should write.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is like one of the things that's really interesting about like one of the first challenges I feel like has already come up with a lot of AI, making AI usable and making its value accessible, is that a totally empty prompt input field, it what
It's a liability to
yeah,
the
like
product.
yeah. I mean,
Mm.
there's this app that we used to follow more closely, Glovo, an on-demand delivery service that got big in Europe, right? And when they first started, apparently, like back in 2015, the only thing on their home screen was just "What do you want?" And
Mm.
the founder described it as like almost like going to a restaurant and the waiter doesn't hand you a menu and just asks like, what do you want from the kitchen? And you're like, I don't know what you guys serve, right? And how have you guys at Shader made have you identified that? It sounds like it's an ongoing like thing that customers bring up or users bring up. Have you formed any hypotheses on how you fix this like empty prompt problem?
Yeah, I actually had two point of views about that. I think when you have MVP and demo,
Mm-hmm.
it's super awesome to have it empty because it helps you to find the ideas. And when we guys like met with you a couple like months ago in BetaWorks office, I use all the time Shader without hints just because I want to know what people will create. And people create like Yoda or like someone from Marvel movies or like Zorro. What I remember, like yeah, on
Right.
Barbie movies. Like, and it makes me feel okay. People want more characters than just like animal personalities or like type of skin. Like I mean, not just makeups. And after that, we start to create templates on a product
Based
that
off of
they
their
can use
feedback or
based on
based off their
feedback.
prompts. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And also just explore aesthetic, what people love, like when they saw the result, what they are excited about, what kind of colors they want. This is
So
was helpful.
so it's so interesting. It's almost like your guys' restaurant, the way you designed the menu was by starting with no menu and asking, what do you guys want? Right? And they would say, oh, give me Superman, like Superman's face, or like, I want to be like Iron Man, whatever. And then you slowly start being able to design the menu based off of those patterns.
For sure, like it was like that, but also it helped me to learn that people. I mean, like when I started build shader, I was so in mid journey and around prompt engineering, and for me and for my engineers also was so clear that prompts should be big. Like if you want something so specific, spend your time, create like long ideas, but real users they just write 2 3 words
Yeah.
and that's it, and they want a result and they want to like so detailed desire a result how they like think about in their brain, but they can't explain this with words. That's why we like start show users. I think that like this is our product feature that we actually even when we show you hints templates, we still show you our prompt, and it's explain you
Oh.
how actually a lot inside of this one picture and how you can update it, like change just blue for yellow, and it could be different.
So how do you go about, obviously there's the research phase and then there is the data that they provide you. Now the last step is synthesizing that data and turning it into how might we's. How do you go about synthesizing data, synthesizing that
Oh,
feedback?
yeah, it's hard. I mean,
Because
like,
sometimes
because
customers
Yeah,
say things that you're just like, hmm.
I
Yeah.
guess probably.
I usually wrote still everything in a deck in Notion. We like keep every feedback what we have, and because we're so small team, like it's just like low priority, middle, red, like what exactly you feel, and we have like weekly product meetings with the team when we must of all take a look just user feedbacks, and discuss it together with engineers too, because they have their perspective on that. What is really uh, not even like around priority of, but like this is so hard. Like this is like sounds easy, but this is what we can't do that now. And you feel okay, like it's probably low priority now. For
how
example,
how are you presenting
yeah.
that feedback though to the
Yeah.
team? Like, what are some of the, like, is it you coming into the
Mhm.
room and being like, this is it, this is what we got, and then you wait for them to provide feedback on it, or are you asking certain questions, or are you delivering like maybe a synopsis of what you discovered and then gauging their feedback? Like, take us take us through the
Yeah.
details of that.
I keep quotes usually, how exactly user
Hmm.
pronounce it. If it's like from audio interview, video interview, if it's just like and also like just how I make interpretation of that. Um, and it's more conversation. Yeah, like I just we read one after another, and we have part in the Notion just proposals, ideas, how we can fix it. And in this part, I usually tag people who is responsible. Like this is computer vision, this is design, this is iOS, this is just like yeah, like backend part. And this person, like if you tag him, it means that he needs like to write something probably on that. And usually it makes like even if I'm not tagged, we just talk about that a bit, and for sure like easily make a decision on what we can improve. And nobody, I mean, like I'm like a CEO. I'm not rush like people to fix it, because I try to be like honest, and I understand it's not like easy problems to fix, but I want to be sure that everyone remember about it. That every day we're trying to make results more close what users wish, even if we
Right.
just a bit update like result, but already will improve it.
One area that I see a lot of founders and even Numi, like we struggle with this sometimes too, is, you know, sometimes you'll get feedback, and this is especially true of really really technical products, but
Hmm.
sometimes we'll receive feedback and we'll come up with the how might we's, we'll come up with the solution, we'll make
Mhm.
mocks against it, it's estimated by engineering, but then something comes up. And
Yeah.
how do you prevent normalizing things that got addressed X amount of months ago?
It's yeah. This is I mean like I still learning also that how to not forget about it, right? That this is should be in, but I think like because I have just Notion with still deadlines, even if it's flexible deadline, but we're trying to be aligned with sprints. And because we work in like basically 2 week sprint and trying every week still launch something for users, like even small update, mix like couple of bugs. I'm trying like as founder just every day to understand why it will take more time, something to update on results. And it's more easy for sure if it's just UI questions or like how to change something. But some of problems like more deep in my story, like yeah, like I don't know when we will have option to generate like ears, right? We just explaining that, but it could be for a while probably, and it's good to have it like just to remember about it, but not make main prioritization. And also I am so open to change roadmap. I don't know, like I don't want to make everyone crazy, like still big vision, but I understand that if I want to implement something in like 3 weeks, I can have options to change a bit direction for the
Right.
team.
Right. So then, like, when you're seeking out that feedback regularly from your customers, talking about like how you set your roadmap, um, do you go in knowing that you want feedback about some specific issue that's on the roadmap, or is it so open-ended that you kind of just let the customers give feedback about whatever it is that they have on their mind? Like, how do you
Yeah.
balance the roadmap that you're going towards and whatever unexpected feedback a customer might give you?
Mhm.
Usually I'm explore like first of all what I exactly need. If it's new
Hmm.
feature, like I want to just chat about that. But for sure, in the last moment when we just like finish my 2, 3 questions, I like just ask like, what's your thoughts about that product at all, about vision, about how we explore that, and we chat like on regular basis, basically, longer and just discuss like big vision on that. And also probably, I don't know, it's a bit controversial, probably opinion, but I learned it from Wanna Buy, like from sneakers startup. Uh, Sometimes interviews it's not like best way to still like learn from users because they can be not ready for kind of new type of technology. Like with sneakers try on, when we show users, they say, yeah, it's fun, but I will never use it. Like I don't need, like, why I will use like sneakers try on like feature. Like I can go and buy the sneakers in the real store or just order from like Gold app. And if you don't have a great technology to show them in this moment, they will never
Mm-hmm.
imagine, because some users just less visually can imagine how it will look like. That's
So
why
so how
you
how can
should,
you tell then? Well, yeah, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, that's why I think you should just listen your God and like discuss with the team, like, can we try to build it? Like, and basically more focus on business analytics, what right now is going on in the world, why we need to make it, than just what users wish.
So when you get that feedback that maybe a customer or user saying, "This is cool technology. I don't know why I would ever use this or where I would ever use this." How is it that like how can you tell? Is it anything more than your gut that you can use to tell that maybe you haven't presented the product in the right context or at the right timing in the user's like life or their year, or you just have something that maybe people don't need?
I think for us help to chat not just with users, like particular, like, but with companies in this moment.
Hmm.
Go in that use case, we discuss it with like Gucci, with Farfetch, who are at the marketplaces, and we found their struggles that they want to interact more with audience. They want to represent them new type of technology, and also because you start up, you can't have access for a lot of audience. You like have these interviews, but it's like still small cohort. And big companies, they can do like big researchers and then can share with you more insights. And this is
So
for sure can be great advice. Like go to them.
one of my favorite definitions of product market fit is when large established brands are starting to try out your product, because those brands, you estimate,
Mm,
right, they have a very clear view of the alternatives in the market, and if they're just starting to choose you, maybe you're onto something because they're the ones who know who win the product tournament, right? So, like, I want to know, can you talk a little bit about how it was that you guys as a startup were able to get access to brands like Goat or brands like Gucci, to be able to get their feedback?
Was it a cold email?
Yeah.
Was it hand-to-hand
no.
combat in a room?
I think we have in this moment already like business developer manager also. Alex. He was actually so young and ambitious, and we go just in the conferences. In this moment, it was like Web Summit conference in Portugal, like main around that, and we try to find these people, like people who works in Nike, people who works in Adidas, and in our brain before to be like open was like we need like biggest sport brands because we think like Nike and Adidas will be more interesting on that.
Right.
But just accidentally happened that like Gucci or and like these brands more close to technology, and they just want to experiment with advertising to more inspire their audience. And it was first collaboration like that, but also our investors really help with connections too in this moment. They like just have also network to connect with. But it was one story. But now when I build Shader, it's completely, I think, a bit different. I'm not
Right.
trying to talk with brands at all, like big companies, because we are trying to build B2C and B2B somewhere in my roadmap, but like plan B, if
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all the
yeah.
time.
Right.
And
Plan B to B to B.
yeah, and it's a plan B to B.
So okay, tell me what is it then? Like you left Snapchat, you left Snap to start Shader, right?
Not it was easy like that. Everything I was laid off by Snapchat
Oh,
last
no
year.
way.
Yes, like it was like
Wow.
big laid off in 2022, and our AR team was affected. So it
Whoa.
was
Okay, so
basically a
that
surprise in my life.
yeah, yeah. And so then tell us about the founder journey from you going from like
Literally gonna be my same question.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, going from laid off at Snapchat to CEO of Shader.
Um, I think like in this moment, I was like sad for sure because it was my dream job, and I really love everything what's going on, and I love augmented reality, and in that moment I started like maybe I need to find like different just company, and I start interviews. Like I go to Apple, Unity, uh, Meta for sure, like everyone like who is around building something on AR. But it was a lot of times frozen, like how to say, like it was. If you remember this time, it was like
A
basically
hiring freeze.
hiring freeze, yes,
Yeah.
and I did interviews, spent time, everything great, but hiring freeze, and I was just like not excited about startup, like what's going on around AR industry, and explore like what it could be if I can like start build something like was before. And honestly, I also can miss this time when we built my previous startup Wannabe. And yeah, I didn't mention that also before laid off, I was in a lucky position because we sold previous startup for Farfetch, and it was my first
Oh,
acquisition. And I like, oh,
whoa.
so like I wasn't founder, but I still make good money. And in this moment, Snapchat paid me severance also for almost, I don't know, like almost half year. I think it was really great severance. Like
Whoa.
That's
I,
nice.
I was like, and they helped me with my green card. So I like, so
Hmm.
Snapchat's the best. Like they like, like
Shout out
sever,
Snapchat.
yeah, I mean severance, green card. I was like sad, but also I was grateful for this experience in my life, and just start like thinking what to build. And I can't sit like without job. That's why like I start like in the next month basically startup experience.
Wow, wait, so within a month's time you had gone from your last day at Snapchat to you had already started working on Shader?
Yeah, like no, I'm in September for interviews, and on October I like found now I don't want this interviews. I wanna like probably try, and I think also my friends, my family, yeah, my fiance, like everyone mentioned to me why you should go like immediately in a new job because I had some offers, but
Mm-hmm.
if you like dreaming about something else, this should be like just again regular job. this great salary, or it's probably like best moment in my life to try build
Yeah.
startup, because I don't know if I had like this time again. Probably yes, but in this moment, I feel like it's so like really good moment, and I have all options to just build. I have my time, and I may,
it's kind of
yeah.
nice that oh, sorry. I was gonna say it's kind of nice that you can get over an X that quickly. You
Yeah,
know?
right. Like that's such a very fast turnaround time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So,
Maybe I
did you
was in
know?
depression.
Yeah.
I'm laughing right now, but I feel like I don't know. I was
Depression, shock. What's the difference?
maybe I don't. I think I was just boring. I like just sit home and I don't know. Like I don't have any calls. What I should do, and I like start create. Just
So actually, let's dive into that a little bit. So when when you got laid off, you went home. That first week, maybe you took to yourself. That second week, maybe you're kind of getting a little bit bored. That third week, what's going on? You know, what's going on in your mind? Like, how do you assemble a team? How do you get
mm,
there? Obviously, there's all the admin stuff. You know, going to Clerky, all that stuff, and incorporating. But like, how do you what? How do you know what to put down on paper first?
okay. So I think I did it like a bit different. Like I didn't incorporate anything. Uh, all this document stuff. I did like almost in May, like after half year of startup. And
Oh wow.
before,
Nice.
because I like probably thought about this like about experiment. Like what if I try and we'll see if users will like it, if it will make sense. And I start first like just find people who want to work with me, and had interviews with my previous friends, like who work with me, wanna buy. And this is where I spent almost, I think, 2 months, like just talk with people, uh, all my network, like what's going on, who building something, learn what people explore right now, try to find co-founder. And I found just my friend, Orist, who built with me before. Wanna buy startup. And it was a bit sad story, to be honest. Because Orest was in Ukraine, and as you know, guys, it's like wartime in Lviv,
Right.
and he was stuck with like great career, but basically you don't know what to do. Like
Yeah.
they in a safe space, but he can't left country, and he told me like I have a bunch of time. Like I'm working like from home from one of startup, but I'm ready to help you. And we start build together just on his free time. And also he found easily for me one more engineer who is the same position. Like we're in Lviv, we like ready to help, like let's build it. Uh, and I was honest that I don't have money like to pay, like because it's I don't pay myself. Like we just like experiment. Let's see how it will go. And everyone was, I don't know, maybe because we know each other, like just fine with that. We just make it um, like work for free in a free time for a couple of months, and do it like side project basically.
Do you think
But
that things would have
yeah.
been I was just gonna ask, like, do you think that things would have been different had you not known them? Like, what would you have done
Mhm.
if you didn't have those two people?
I think for sure it will be different because like I work with people who I never know, like, and it's so like, but I don't know how to inspire like work for free someone who you don't know. It's possible, but not so it's so hard, right? Like yeah, it's not
Yeah.
about friendship and previous work together, um, probably. But if people believe in the idea, like I think because like in the end, um, before we fundraise, I already have 5 people who work with me for free. So and it's like
Wow.
not
Yeah,
everyone
quite
I know.
inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty special place to be. And
You're a very well liked person.
yeah.
No,
And
I know.
were you able to convince them all to join full time as employees when the funding came together?
Yes, but when we will have our next round, even not now, like because now we like in super like early still stage.
Mm-hmm.
But also I like we just I don't know, we never discussed money, and it's not my like questions and not their questions. We never discussed
Wow.
equity. We just explore what happened. And when I raised money, for sure, it was first moment when I like say, guys, like I have money to pay, like what you think I should pay for you, even for previous job, for sure. And I pay for what we built before, and we already discussed equity pieces, like, and we just start to be a team, basically. Um,
Wow.
like,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible. And so what like do you have any advice for founders who don't have a design background or a product management background the way you do, um, to be able to get more clarity on their product, on their roadmap, um, really anything?
I think my advice of what actually helped me also, it's just go to close to community as a founders. So that's why, like before even accelerator program, I just go to on deck program. It's
Mm.
San Francisco based, and just be close with like couple of weeks with people who also build, because everyone will share with you their like tactics and methodology, strategy, and you will learn like, and it's also, I don't know, interesting to know also your opinion. I think like everyone's thinking, oh, like I'm like founder, but without these skills. Like I'm not designer, I'm a product. I'm, for example, founder and I'm not engineer. And I never like raised money before. Like I learned everything from the scratch, how to like write email for investors, how to build this connection. And some people like really smart on this part, and you never will learn it from the like you can learn it from the videos and books for sure, but more important, just talk, listen, find your people, like to have this like community around you. Yeah.
It's so important. Yeah, it's so important. Like, Agree and I have a very, very clear understanding of like who's good at what. And like we do not kid ourselves around like
Yeah.
the weaker points, but it doesn't stop us from asking questions and trying to learn,
Yeah.
For
but when
sure.
push comes to shove and you got to send the sniper in, like, I'm not going to be the one engineering. Agree is.
Right,
you know.
sure, right, right. But like, I mean, yeah, it's exactly what Harrison said though. It's about like, yeah, that self-knowledge, and then honestly, sometimes it can be a huge advantage to not know the discipline because it allows you to always be sort of an external observer
Yeah.
of that work stream and can help the people who are too close to the problem that they're solving, you know, get a pair of outside eyes.
Yeah.
Maybe also try to find advisors, right? This is what I'm right now exploring, how to find people who can be best in this industry, but advise
Oh,
your
sure.
team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's super important. Yeah, so Daria, do you have any closing thoughts for us? Do you have anything else that you wish we had talked more about?
I think, yeah, I love this more casual conversation between LA and New York. It's really
Oh
like, yeah,
yeah.
helpful to think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Totally. And yeah, it was a lot easier to coordinate than flying across the country, I
Yeah.
guess, huh?
True.
Okay.
Daria, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you so so much.
Thank you too. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, take it easy.